3 tips for cultivating the mindset of an empowered gender explorer. So, tip number 1 is be curious. Curiosity is a fundamental openness and willingness to experience life on life's terms. And it's also an eagerness to continually learn, grow, and explore. And most importantly, curiosity is like a state of innocence and wonder. It's like a, wow, I wonder how this thing or this situation is going to turn out. I wonder what's going to happen if I put on this new outfit, or what happens if I speak my truth, or if I stand up for myself. And so even though I might have my apprehensions, and I'm well aware that, well, sure, things might go wrong, still, if I'm curious, I want to know what happens when I start authentically sharing myself with this world. So, really, curiosity is the thing that happens when your desire to show up truthfully, fully, outweighs your fear. And when your eagerness and willingness to be yourself, it overpowers your anxiety. Now, it's important to note that I'm not talking about the kind of curiosity that is like super naive and childish. Like, oh, I don't know anything and I'm just gonna walk off this cliff and see what happens. No, so I'm talking about the kind of curiosity that is well aware of danger and it's connected to fear and it's realistic and practical, but still it's connected to this magic. It's connected to this world or this dimension where anything is possible. So this is like an optimistic and a wise, grounded curiosity. And this is the kind of curiosity that is willing to be hurt, it's willing to take risks, and it's willing to be surprised. Because this quality of curiosity understands what life is really all about. Well, it's inherently dangerous, yeah, sure. And it's designed to challenge us. And it's guaranteed to knock us down. But still, this is a life worth living. So curiosity is when you look at your situation and you weigh your options, and then at the end of the day, you just decide that you're going to trust your gut, regardless of whether that decision makes practical sense. Because you're curious. You want to know where that intuitive prompting is leading you. You want to know what's on the other side of that fence. What is that life that is waiting for you just beyond the horizon? Because really, that's where your curiosity is leading you, right? It's like always pulling you towards that place that you've never been before. So it's important to recognize that curiosity is always connected to the unknown. It's always associated with fear and anxiety, and it's always involved with some sort of challenge, which is exactly why curiosity is your key to exploring gender. Because with a healthy dose of curiosity and then a willingness to experience the unknown, you are going to be able to find out once and for all, what is that new life that's waiting for you? Like, what is it all about? All right, so let's move on to tip number 2, which is be playful. So playfulness is the art of skipping through life, stopping to smell the roses, and of greeting each day with a smile. And playfulness is like taking that load of bricks off your back, stretching, catching your breath, and then just getting back to work with a smile in your heart. And playfulness is like looking at a monster in the eyes and saying, well, you don't fool me, buddy. Now, I know you're supposed to be scary, but I can see through all that. So that monster, it can be a situation, depending on who you are or where you're at in your life. It could be an emotion, it could be a person, it can even be ourselves. It can be different parts of ourselves, right? So playfulness is the ability to see beyond appearances and the capacity to just, giggle at our misfortunes. So playfulness looks at that thundercloud, which is looming over our heads, and acknowledges its presence. And then it says, sorry, but I'm not going to pack up and go home just because it's raining. Instead, I'm going to embrace this situation. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to hold my head up high, and I'm going to smile Because in this moment, I choose joy. I choose possibility. I choose opportunity. Now, of course, there is a shadow to being playful, right? So there is this space where we just can't take anything seriously. We aren't grounded and we don't have true compassion for others because we're too busy dismissing the heartache of ourselves and the heartache of the world. So it's important to keep in mind that the kind of playfulness I'm talking about is more like this internal smile. It's a lighthearted approach to life that chooses joy more often than not. So this is like loosening the grip and allowing ourselves to just have some fun every once in a while, even and especially when we're being challenged. So this is like learning how to laugh at ourselves and our ridiculous predicament. And as a trans person, I can look at this situation from the perspective of playfulness, and I can recognize how, okay, this is kind of funny, this is kind of ridiculous. So my suggestion with this tip is to just lighten up, step outside of that fishbowl every now and again and see if you can reconnect to it feels like a little kid inside of you. It's that part of yourself that just lives for fun, wakes up every day ready to play. And so the reason that being playful is so important for the gender explorer is because of how incredibly heavy this experience can be, right? Like, it's scary, it's intimidating, it's overwhelming, it's heavy. And if we aren't careful, it can suck all the joy out of our life. So this is like the challenging aspects of this experience become so strong and all-consuming that they cover us, and we can't see through that fog. And then we just forget that if we were to just step outside, we would recognize oh, the kids are still laughing, the sun is still shining, the trees are still swaying. So the next time that your life is feeling dark, bleak, dreary, see if you can introduce some of this good old-fashioned play into your life. And don't ever forget that life is here for you. Your life is meant to be enjoyed. It's hard, yeah, of course. And there are moments when, we just don't know if we're gonna make it. But at the end of the day, the simple fact that you are alive, the reality that you get to participate in this world, that is enough. That is cause for celebration. But of course, simply just curiosity and playfulness without the proper context and application aren't gonna get you very far. So that's why you should watch this next video, and I'll tell you how to intelligently use these tools in order to deepen your relationship with gender and creativity. All right, that's all I've got. I'll see you in the next one.